2 slides here that also have live links in them to the agenda on her name. If you look at that first slide, the overall agenda slide, but she's got a free Shake Up Learning Quick Start Guide, 20 agendas to kickstart learning in your classroom. Hope you guys will check that out. And also, of course, her book, Shake Up Learning, Practical Ideas to Move Learning from Static to Dynamic. Hope you'll pick a copy of that up, and really appreciate Casey and her inspiration today for us. So a couple of things, of course, keep looking at that agenda, remind your friends and everyone else to refresh, because we still have, even throughout today, we've had a couple of changes, either updating some links or some presenters who had just life happen, and we're kind of plugging in as we go. It's one of the beautiful things about Shattering a Silo, though, because this agenda is live linked, so we can update it as many times as we want. One thing that I do want to talk about, to get your, and this is what your PD or ELA certificate will look like. In order to get that, make sure you have registered at this, like kind of I'm here this morning sort of thing. We've had almost 400 people register with that and say that they were here and ready to connect with us today, but that's bit.ly/create-connect-share. And here's what's going to happen when you do that. You're going to receive, after today, something called a share back form. This is our first time doing this. We want to know, are we meeting your needs as an innovative Kentucky educator? And so we're going to ask some feedback from you at that point. And then once you give us that feedback, then you'll automatically be mailed this PD and ELA certificate. Make sure that when you fill out this bit.ly form that you put in your correct school address, because that's how we're going to be communicating your PD certificate. That's how you're going to give us the feedback. All right, guys. So I hope you all are really pumped up about the PM sessions. Let's go create, connect, and share. Let's do this.
Ms. Mayor, if you're in the building, could you please come up to Mr. Counsel's office, Ms. Mayor?
এশিয়া কাপ ক্রিকেটের ফাইনালে ভারতকে হারিয়েছে বাংলাদেশের মেয়েরা, তবে চ্যাম্পিয়ন দলে খেলোয়াড়রা পারিশ্রমিক পান নামমাত্র। আয় করেন বাংলাদেশের একজন নারী ক্রিকেটার সারা বছরও তা উপার্জন করতে পারে না। মাহাদি হাসানের রিপোর্টে জানুন বিস্তারিত।
1999 বিশ্বকাপে পাকিস্তানকে হারানো ঐতিহাসিক সেই মুহূর্তের কথা নিশ্চয়ই মনে আছে। সেই ঐতিহাসিক মোমেন্টের সাথে অনায়াসে মিলিয়ে ফেলতে পারেন এই মুহূর্তকে। ইতিহাস একদিন হয়তো বলবে, বাংলাদেশের মেয়েদের ক্রিকেটের ভবিষ্যতের গতিপথ পাল্টে দেওয়ার নিয়ামক ছিল মালয়েশিয়ার 10 জুন। মোট 6 বারের আর
Hey guys, I'm going to talk to you all today about Blogger and how we, like, kind of our journey to using Blogger and how it has changed our culture and our building, and how it has changed our efficiency and collaboration and just the way that we share information. I'm just going to go ahead and start on my presentation. And I do not have a moderator, so I won't be able to get to your questions until the end. So just go ahead and type in your questions, and then at the end, I will try to get to each of your questions. I'm going to go ahead and start my presentation. So we use Blogger. At the beginning of the school year, we got a new principal, and we decided that we wanted to call it a one-stop shop. And so we just needed a way to improve communication and increase efficiency and promote collaboration. So we decided that we would try to come up with some method of achieving all three of those goals. So like I said, we wanted to call it a one-stop shop. We kind of thought about like a farmer's market where you can just go or some kind of market square where you can go and get everything. So that was kind of the theme we went with. So we tried several things. Our journey to Blogger, it didn't start with Blogger. We tried lots of different things and we made lots of mistakes along the way. So our first mistake, we thought that a Google slide would really kind of achieve the goal that we wanted. And so this was the Google slide that we came up with. We were so excited about it. We had our live calendar linked on here. We had daily announcements where you could go and edit your announcements each morning. These are often used links down here. And we were so excited about this. We went and we put a shortcut on everybody's desktop for it so they could just open this up at the beginning of the day and use this as their docking station every day. But after we used it for a little while, we decided that this was actually really not what we needed. It was very clunky when you either had to have it in present mode, which then you can't do anything else on your computer, or it was just very, very cumbersome to use. So we decided to ditch the single Google slide. So then someone suggested, why don't you try a Google site? So I had never made a Google site before. And I got on there and just kind of played around with it a little bit and figured out really quickly that that's also was not going to achieve the goal that we wanted. There was no place on there for like common posts. If anybody wanted to post anything, it just didn't, it just still, again, was very clunky. So we decided not to use that also. So at this point, this is when we decided to try Blogger, and it kind of makes us laugh now because we went to a session where we talked to Heather Worrell about this exact topic, and she was like, well, why don't you use Blogger? And none of us had any experience with Blogger, and so we decided that just to start out, we were going to try something a little bit less, a little bit easier, we thought. But so anyway, we should have listened to Heather from the beginning, because we ended up right where she told us that we should go. So this is what we ended up with. We have lots and lots of links on here. It might look like a lot, but it really works for us. And we love all of the links and the ability to post. And so I'll kind of show you around ours a little bit and just kind of show you how we have it organized. We have it divided into sections. So the right and left-hand columns are our sections that we have ours divided into. And so the stay informed is living, changing documents, anything that's going to be fluid that anyone has access to and can change. We've got our living calendar there. We've got announcements, morning report, anything like that that changes day to day. And then we also have quick links, and those are the links that people use every day: email, Infinite Campus, anything like that that we access daily. Scheduling. So over here we have links to Google Calendars for all of our common areas, our library, our gym, cafeteria, anything like that. You can go and schedule to use those areas. You can also schedule technology groups there. And like if we have an iPad card or a Chromebook card or whatever, you can schedule those there also. Let's see, forms. We have several forms. Like if we want to assign lunch detention to someone, we fill out this form. And so everyone knows who is supposed to be at lunch detention, et cetera. So just lots of different forms over here that we can fill out. OCMS resources. I really like this section because these are blogs that other groups in our building have made. We've got the ECS Market Square. That team has created a blog, and this is really great over here because everyone can click on these, but not everyone has been invited to these blogs. So if you are invited to these, then when you click on it, it opens. But if you have not been invited, when you click on it, then you have to request access. So if there are some resources that are only relevant to certain groups of people, then they have created a blog and they have linked it over here. So I think it's really exciting that other groups in our building are creating blogs. And then the service requests. We have our technology service ticket over here. If you're having problems with your computer, your document camera, your projector, whatever, then you submit a technology ticket and that goes right to the STC. Equipment request, if you need like a projector and laptop and a screen set up in the gym, then you fill out the equipment request and that goes straight to me, and we know that that we need to get that equipment set up. And then custodial maintenance. If you have a light bulb out or your office, your desk chair broke or whatever, then you can put in a custodial maintenance request. So all of this stuff has really streamlined our day-to-day business, and it's just and it has just increased our efficiency so much because we know right where to go to get what we need. So that's been very helpful. Okay, so then the center column that you see right down here in the center of the blog, that is where anyone can post. Anyone can post announcements if they have something that they want everyone to see, any kind of reminders, meeting agendas, new resources, anything like that. Anyone has access to post here in the center. So like I say down here at the bottom, basically anything that everyone needs to see or have access to. And that was one feature that we were really looking for, that we really wanted everyone to be able to post something and be able to go back in the stream and see, where what people have posted, if there are resources in there. We wanted to have access to that and have everyone have the ability to post. And that was something that we didn't have with the Google slide and the Google site. So that is kind of how ours is set up and how we use it. So from here, I'm just going to kind of, if any of you all are interested, I'm just going to show you how to create a blog for your school if that's what you'd like to do. First step is go to blogger.com and create your blogger profile. Now, when it comes up, I just used the limited blogger profile. I did not use the Google Plus profile, and that's all you need to do. I didn't lose any features or anything like that. It has worked beautifully for us. So I just used the limited profile. So once you create your blog and you get your account, then you will have this in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, and you'll click this drop-down arrow and you'll click on New Blog. And then that is going to bring up this window, and you're going to choose a title for your blog. All of this stuff can be changed later, so don't stress out about creating a title or anything. So come up with a title for it and come up with an address. I like for the blog title to match the address as closely as possible. Now ours is the Market Square, but the Market Square was already taken as a blog address, so I just added OC at the beginning of it. So you can just add a couple of little characters usually, and that will take care of, creating an address that's close to the name of your blog. Here you can create choose a theme. And again, don't stress about choosing a theme because it can be changed later on when you're designing your blog. And so once you've done those three things, just click on Create Blog, and then Blogger will open. And this is where you do everything. This is where you create your blog basically and customize it to what your school needs. So you can set user rights here. You can customize it, and Blogger is just where everything happens. So I'm going to kind of go through these the choices over here and what each one of them does when you're creating your blog. One really important thing though, our blog does contain sensitive information about students. So we have ours set as private, and Heather walked me through this when we were first starting ours up. And we were really nervous about, do we have to create, like privacy on each document that we post? We didn't want to have to, like invite people to every single document. So you can set your blog to be private. And at the private level, then we have access. We can control the level of access for every user, and we also control who has access. So when you go into your Blogger and you go into settings, then this is where you get to that that option to make it private. You go into settings and then basic, blog readers all the way at the bottom, and then click edit and choose private, only blog authors. And then you're going to add users or add authors, and you just type in their email address. It's just as easy as that. If you want to copy and paste a big long list of your staff to invite them, you don't have to individually type in or copy and paste each one. If you have like a spreadsheet with email addresses on it, copy and paste that into the box where you type in your email addresses, and then just put a comma after each one, and it will invite each person. If you don't put that comma in, it's not going to work. Okay, layout. This is where you arrange your gadgets on your blog. So gadgets are those sections that I showed you on ours where we have the quick links and the stay informed. Those are all gadgets. So a gadget is basically a tool or a feature that you can add to your blog. So all of our gadgets on the right and left column, they're all link lists. You can add images, blog stats. That tells you how many visitors you've had to your blog. We do have that down in the bottom corner, so we know how many visits our blog has had. The blog archive is also really important, and that I think that defaults to a gadget on your blog when you first set it up. But that's really important if you need to go back to, say, like we launched our blog in January. So if I needed to go back and see something in January that was posted, then I can go back to that archive and find that post. And also translator. We don't have translator on our teacher blog on the Market Square. But if you use blog, I think we might think about setting up a blog for parents and teachers. And we have a decent amount of Spanish speaking families in our school. And so I think that if on the parent blog and the student blog, we're going to put the translating gadget on there, and it will translate everything on your blog into Spanish is what we will end up using. And I think that's a really great gadget to be aware of. So all of those things happen in layout. In theme, this is where you can choose the style of your blog. And you can go back and change this at any time, and you can play around with them. You can preview what it's going to look like just by clicking on any one of the different styles. You can preview what your blog is going to look like. And again, like I said, you can change your theme at any time. Also in theme, if you see right here where it says customize, that's where it starts to get fun. Okay, you can go in and you can really personalize your blog. And so when you click on customize, it's going to take you to this. This is like the upper third of the screen, what it looks like. And you have all of these options down the left-hand side. So themes, this is where you'll go in and choose your theme. You can choose background. If you click on this arrow right here, it will give you hundreds of different images and backgrounds to choose from. Or if you want it to just be plain, you can just use a plain color here in the background. You can adjust widths. So like on our blog, we had the right and left column and then the center column. You can change those around, make them as wide or as narrow as you want to suit your needs. And then you can also change the layout of those columns. I have ours set like this, where we have the right side or the left sidebar and the right sidebar, and then the center for blog posts. But you can change that around however you want to. And it can be changed whenever you want to. And then advanced is when you're going to be able to change font colors, background colors, link colors. When you hover over something, does it change color? When you've visited a link, does it change color? I mean, it's endless, the different things that you can change in the advanced tab. So I am going to escape this. That's the end of my presentation, and I'm going to escape out of that, see if anyone has any questions for me. Let's see here. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and you can post now. And I also wanted to give you guys kind of a chance to play around with it a little bit. And if you had any questions, if you wanted to try setting one up, then we can do that too. If you have questions about how to any of the settings or anything like that you can set up. So Stella asked if we have any pushback from parents. The blogging that we are doing right now is only for staff. So we really don't have any pushback because our parents they don't have access to it. And the students are not blogging right now. We have had a couple of classes who are blogging, and I don't know if those teachers have gotten any pushback. But I do know that we have had some students blogging, and they were using Blogger, and it's so great because of the ability to set it as private. So there's really no concern for anonymity or anything like that. So Eric Dennis said he just created a blog, but I'm going to have to play with it for a while before I have questions. That's exactly how I was. Just click around on it. I mean, it's so fun. I spent a whole weekend creating ours. I just sat on my couch with my Chromebook and just played around with it until I figured things out. And it really does take getting in there with all of the features and playing around with them and see what they look like. And it's let's see here. I will show you all my market square. This is our market square. Once you've created your blog, to get back into Blogger, when you want to change something or add something, you're going to go into design, and that will open the Blogger like I was showing you. And I mean, I just did screenshots of exactly how we change ours. The layout is where you're going to go in and add your gadgets. You can move gadgets around. You can just drag gadgets from one place to another. And down here at the bottom, you can add footer gadgets. I mean, it's just endless, the different things that you can do with it and the ways that you can customize it to suit your school's needs. Any other questions from anyone? I'll show you a few of the things in theme, just what the customizing looks like. When you're going into the advanced tab and you want to change fonts or colors or anything like that, when you click on like post title, for example, it will put this red box around it. And so you know which feature on there you are changing. It took me a while to figure out what all of these items over here were, but when you just click on it, it will highlight it for you so you know what you're changing. So if there's something that you want, like, let's see here, let's see, gadgets. So it asks what font do you want it, what color do you want it, and so you can, that's where you change all of those different aspects of your blog. So it is fun to just get in here and click around and see what options you have. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, well, I'm going to sign off. If you all ever need to ask me any questions or anything, feel free to shoot me an email. I would be happy to help you at any time.